Philippines this one time, and we were doing a missions trip. I had 3 people on my team, and we ended up way out in the boonies at the end of this, where the taxis and buses went out and turned around to go back into the city, and it was this little makeshift village of kiosks around where the buses turned around, where people sold everything, and funky place. And we pulled into this place, and the pastor's wife, who was with us, said, hey, they have electricity until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it shuts off until 9 o'clock at night. There's a loudspeaker and a microphone over there. If you'd like to preach the gospel, you can. I'm looking around, there are 200 people just milling around, Filipinos in this little center. And I went, okay. And I looked at my watch, it was 5 minutes till 2. I thought, okay, 5 minutes. I'm going to give it my best sermon. So I got up and I had her translating, and I said, God loves you and he's here to heal. And if anybody has sickness or disease in your body, come on here because Jesus is going to heal you. It didn't even take 5 minutes. That was the message. And all of a sudden, 250 Filipino people turn around and stare. It was long and silent. Nobody moved. And we're like, okay, what's next? It's 11:11 right now. Ha! I don't even know what that means, but I like it. So all of a sudden, this old woman comes walking across the square, and she's got a piece of PVC pipe for a cane, and she's hobbling, and she's coming. She goes, I want to get healed. So he said, okay, what happened? She said, I had a stroke, and I'm paralyzed on this side. So my team laid our hands on her hip, and all of a sudden she goes, boing! And she throws down her PVC pipe, and she walks back across the square. 250 pairs of eyes go, whoo! And all of a sudden, the 4 of us are surrounded. We've each got about 60 people around us. Everybody changed their mind real quick. So I'm there, and people, there's a crowd of people, and they're shoving people, and I'm praying for people, and people are getting healed. And they push this 9-year-old boy through the crowd. And he's got his arms all like this, and it's frozen, and it's all shriveled up, and it's been that way since birth. And his leg is like this, and he hops along like a bird. And they push him through. And I asked, how long has this been? They said he was born this way, and he's never moved it. I just went, okay, and I just started releasing life, and I didn't have any good verbal prayers. All I had was life. I just had so much life in me. It was just exploding out of me. So I just started saying life, life, life. And I'm looking at him in the eye, and he's smiling. And I'm going, life, 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 life. Nothing seems to be happening. And I get all the little kids. This is the Philippines. There's tons of street kids. I gather them all up and have them all, say life, life. And all these little kids, life, life, or vida, or whatever it was that they say. And he's standing there, and everybody, there's this big crowd, and they all know him, and they're all waiting for something to happen, and nothing is happening. But I don't feel any discouragement, but something drops in my spirit. Now, this does not happen every time I pray, and I don't try to make it happen, but something just deposited in me, and I believe this is what's called the gift of faith. I just said, I am not leaving this kid until he's healed. It was inside of me. I felt like that was what God wanted to do, was for me to stay with this kid until he was healed. So I just started, declaring life. 20 minutes go by. And the only word I have that I can think of to say is life. And I'm saying life. Well, I don't really have this super good attention span for long periods of time. Anybody understand that? So 20 minutes of life. So my mind starts wandering. All of a sudden, I think, okay, I'm on this Islamic terrorist island. We were up in the mountains, and there were communist guerrilla troops with guns up there, and it was exciting. And I have these 2 20-year-old girls from Canada on my team, and this one 30-year-old man. This is a friend of mine. I wasn't worried about the 30-year-old man, but suddenly I realized I have no clue where these 20-year-old girls are that I am responsible for. So I'm going, life, and I start looking around. Where are they? Is everything okay? Life. I'm just saying life, and my mind is just totally unfocused. And I see a group of people over there, and this guy lifts up his cane and jumps up and down, and everybody's cheering. And I realize that's Matt over there, and he's got, they're doing good. No problem. People are getting healed. I look over, and I see another group of people, and people are cheering, and somebody else is getting healed, and that's one of the girls. And I can't find the other girl. So I'm going, life. Life. And finally I see there's this, commotion of little kids. There's like 150 street kids all over in this one side of the square, this area. And she's got them all corralled and got them playing Duck, Duck, Goose. She got 150 street kids and invited them the next day to the church where we were. We did an impromptu kids crusade, and 150 kids gave their lives to Jesus. Oh, come on. So I saw that and I go, okay, everybody's good. And I come back to this little boy and I'm doing this to his arm. And I go, oh, wow. Could you ever do that before? He goes, and so I said, can you do it by yourself? And I take my hand off and he goes, I said, can you raise your arm? And he goes, I have a picture that was on my refrigerator for years. Now it's got kind of things running down the picture of this boy going. Everybody gathers around. They go, Dunker, is that you? Because they all know him. And he's standing there going, and while everybody's cheering and looking at that, the pastor's wife goes, look at his leg. And I look down, and both his legs are on the ground. Same size, he's got shirts on. Totally normal. He's standing there like this. Whoa! It was not my laser-like focus and intentionality. It was not the wonderful prayers I prayed. It wasn't the prayer book I pulled out and said the right prayer for crippled arms and legs. It was the grace of God. It was his goodness. And it was me being a part of it, just hearing him say, we're staying here till this one's done. And just being a part of it. So we're standing there, everybody's cheering, and these little 8-year-old boys come running up and they come up and they grab his arms and they go, Dunker, run! And they pull him, and this kid goes, and then for the first time in his life, he takes off and runs with his friends around the square. Wow!